Hey, welcome to another Store Tech video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about sorting some non-stackables, mainly brushes, shears and flint and steel, because there's quite a tricky way to sort a few of these that not a lot of people know, and it should be mentioned because I find it quite cool. It also plays a little bit into why I really like this type of item sorting. So, let me just show you everything. So, the first thing we should do is mention what these items have interactions with dispensers. So, normally, an item would just be shot out, which I forgot to put my demonstration items in, but it would be shot out. In this example, the shears do not. Now, this is because they have an interaction with another source outside of the dispenser, like in the block in front. It will do something depending on what's there. So that's why they would stay in the dispenser. So as I mentioned, this is flint and steel, shears and brushes. They all have an interaction. Well, flint and steel's pretty obvious. It just lights a fire. The shears can just shear sheep and give wool. And the brush can brush armadillos to get a skew. The interesting thing about brushing an armadillo is, as you noticed, that item spawns quite high up. So high, in fact, we can put a trapdoor to catch it. It flew the other side of the trapdoor, but you get my point. It spawns the block above where it actually should, which could be considered a bug, but it's one of them. I'm going to use it while it's still here. So using this, we can actually push a hopper into the armadillo, and it will collect it instantly, as we can see here. So what this will do is it will it will sort only brushes from other items. The item will normally be spat out of the dispenser onto the soul sand and it gets picked up. The scutes that we brush also get picked up, so you could put that into your item sorting. And obviously the ones they drop randomly will also get picked up. So in this dropper, I have an item and a brush. So you'll see if we sort this, that was just a regular brush, I think. No, it was an item. So there you can see, we have our item and some that it picked up from randomly dropping. And if we put the brush in, we saw it just appear above there. We have an extra scute in there, and our brush in here. Because obviously it stays in the dispenser, so it gets brought down. The only downside to this is it doesn't actually solve our problem. If I was to put a flint and steel and shears in here, and I was to send those, what you'll notice is, because of their interactions, they also get put in this barrel here. So to solve this, we are going to use a sorter to separate these three items from everything else. Because they have an interaction, they will get stuck in the dispenser and spat out. Items like water could be dispensed, but because there's a block here, that fails and it actually gets spat out. So in this, you can see I have all these items, and I'll even throw in a bucket to prove my point. And we can see it sorting. In the hopper we have our three items, and our other items here. We're going to need this bucket for what I'm going to show you next. To sort flint and steel, it always tries to light a fire, no matter if it can or not. So this observer will detect it trying to light the fire, and it will just unlock this hopper. So again, in here you can see our three items. And oh, I forgot to actually add the circuitry here. That's a problem on my part. One moment. Ignoring that totally embarrassing failure, we'll just show this again. You'll see the observer just detected that flint and steel, and it got put into this hopper and lost a little bit of durability. You can see it lost exactly 1. And our brushes and flint and steel are in this one. Sorry, our brushes and shears are in this one, because this is what we're going to sort differently from each other now. So assuming we only input shears and brushes, we can actually separate them with our good friend the armadillo. So this time, when it gets brushed, it will get picked up, it will send a pulse to here, which will trigger this dropper just in time that the item will get spat out into the honey and picked up by the hopper. At the same time, it will also just put the scutes into a lava cauldron, because we really don't need them. So if I show you that, we have brush and shears in here. You'll see there's our scute. It sent the signal. And in here we have our shears. And in here we have our brush, which loses a lot of durability in this process, exactly 16. So why can't we just use this to start with, and we need this here? Well, because there's nothing to stop liquids being placed, if I was going to put, for example, a water through here, you'll notice it will get dispensed, and that's a bit of a problem. So that's why we need that first step, then this, and then this. And that is how you sort the brush. And obviously the shears along with that. But for a long time, this was all you needed until the brush came out, and that was a huge problem for a while. And I did actually think of using the armadillo myself. However, it's obviously been done before me, but I did want to mention that I haven't taken this from anyone. This was my own thought, and it just turned out to be what everybody did at the end, so that's slightly funny to think about. But yes, this way of item sorting, in my opinion, is really cool, because we are using properties that normally aren't used too often to sort something that without it would be impossible. So that's pretty much everything I have to show, but I do have a slight challenge for you. I'm interested to see if people can make a sorter that can actually sort these 3 items, but obviously it has to be one continuous machine, so the output of this would link to the input of this. But I want to see if you can make it differently, so like not use this same circuit here. See what twists you can throw in, how small you can make it, and obviously share that with me on Discord. But anyway, as I mentioned, that is everything I have for you today, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.